Let's take a nice breath into our seat. I apologize for being a little later today. I think it's really interesting how hardwired when I set an intention for my sit at 8:03. There's a reason why I picked 8:03. Somehow 8 o'clock seems like a greater challenge for me than 8:03. So thank you for creating this significant challenge in our meditation challenge. There's great learning everywhere. So, and I think the key in life is that every breath we take, every step we take, isn't there a song? Is an opportunity for learning. And that's why it's called a challenge, because you never know what's going to show up. How are you doing? I think I have a connection. Yes, I do. Thank you. This is one of those mornings where I just come down to my seat and I get seated. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes just to bring yourself in from scuttling around, trying to make your commitments. So let's come into some grounding, centering, and aligning, and allowing ourselves to prepare for meditation. So I'd like you to turn on all your sensories. What are you noticing in your body right now? Are you noticing any tension is being held? Are you noticing any irritants? Irritants are such a great message that it's almost like I rejoice. It's like I get this opportunity. It's like, okay, I've got an irritant. What's my learning? What's the message in the message of irritants or restlessness? And how am I not honoring myself in my own teachings? I might want to pass it on to somebody else as an irritant, or some situation to be an irritant. But what is the teaching for me? It's called a mirror. And to look at that mirror situation with that witness. So it's almost like you're seeing yourself as a little puppet, and you're being triggered or by this affliction, by this irritant. And you can almost giggle and think, okay, so what about that discomfort, that affliction, am I not seeing in myself? That's where the knowledge is. And if we can catch those, then that's where we make our progress. That's where we set new grooves. That's where we get those neurons firing together and wire them together. So the work gets a little easier and a little bit more habitual. Every day we wake up and look where, and it gets more subtle. It gets more subtle. Sometimes it just smacks you right in the head. And other times it's like, I think there's something under that's not sitting well with me that I want to further investigate. Yeah. So I got my meditation package out. I'm feeling a little cool, so I want to wrap my blanket around my legs. And let's turn on our sensories and go down to the middle core of the earth, the central core of the earth. And just even breathing in, inhaling and exhaling and settling it down into your seat. And then start to get those etheric feet lined up and start to get those tree roots extending out. Feel the feet on the floor, all 4 points. Spread your toes a little bit, like a little suction in, so that your feet are really planted. And your sit bones are really planted on your cushion or your furniture, wherever you might be sitting. And let's allow, with permission, consent, to take those tree roots down and those etheric feet down and receive the Mother Earth energy. So important. There's never been a time, I don't think, that it's ever been more important now that 5G is being introduced. When I was talking to my internet provider, when I was going on live, I was having some difficulties with connectability, and they wanted to put me on 5G, and I was too far away from the modem. It's not, it doesn't have the length, and nor did I want to be on 5G. I said, I've managed 29 years in my same place without hiccups and interruptions like this. And she said, 5G, be sure that you ground. It's right in the manual, and I don't know if it's going to make it to the public, but you need to ground at least 3 times a day, depending how often you are on 5G. So please note that. Whether you're grounding this way or just taking off your shoes and socks and your shoes and going outside, and same thing, settling in, grounding into the earth, setting this intention for this connection, dialing up the number for Mother Earth's energy. And now allow us to pierce through the earth's crust with those etheric feet and the roots, down into the slate and the sand and the rock. And what are you noticing there with your vision, with your taste, with your hearing, with your smelling, with your knowing? What are you feeling as we go down into the molten, and taking it down further, further, further as we swoosh through the liquid portion of the earth and down into that crystalline core, and wrap those etheric feet around, or those tree roots around, and use it as our anchor today as we now breathe in. And as we inhale, it's like we're sucking up that Mother Earth energy the same way that it went down, allowing it to come up, up, up on the next inhale, right into both your flat feet or your sit bones, up in through the perineum, or your feet, where you're coming up through the calves and knees and thighs, into the hips, up into the abdomen. Now, next inhalation, you may want to breathe it up into your lungs and your heart area, allowing it to wash over your shoulders and down your arms to your hands and your fingertips, allowing your shoulders to fall 3 inches. And breathing it in, up through the gateway of the neck, connecting the mind and the body up over the face, over the top of the head, down the cranium, allowing that earth energy just to fill every space in between each cell, allowing that safety and that security, that rootedness of the first chakra. Feel that groundedness of the earth, Mother Earth energy. And also feel the bounty and abundance that she provides for us. Not only in food and nature and other sentient beings, but also in energy and safety, that groundedness. Now let's center. We're calling in all our energy, or the body will call in all its energy as we try to find our center point, that still point. As we prepare to take that central line that we created from the core of the earth up through the perineum, follow the path of the spine, the central channel, up through the throat. We're going to align it. So we're going to come out the top of the head and create a fine line to divine. Creator, source, energy, God, guru, angels, archangels. You call it, you name it, the place of many names. And send that up through the solar system, past the Milky Way into the cosmos, just to give you a clear path of where you're going with no distractions. Permission to receive, permission to heal with these energies, as we call in the golden white light coming down this superhighway that we have created. You can also feel almost like you can get, sometimes I get a little click where I get this little click in my head, and it's kind of like I lock into this alignment. If you get that could be what you're experiencing. And draw this golden white light into your head, and same thing, allow it to bathe your whole head. Feel the luminosity of this golden white light. For me, it's just effervescent, it sparkles. And my whole intention is to have every space and every cell touched by this sparkle, so it they too can emit this sparkle, get my glow on, I call it sometimes. Breathe into the throat and breathe into the upper shoulders and the top of the shoulders, and allow it to cascade down your arms all the way to your fingertips. Allow those shoulders to free fall. Let them go. And allow this energy to be in your hands. So everything that you touch today, everyone that you just offer a little love touch to today, if that's still allowed where you are, so they feel that frequency. We're sharing it with all. Breathe it into your lungs and your heart. Allow that expansion. As you breathe it in, allow that expansion. Breathe in that divinity, that love, that effervescence, that sparkle. Breathe it into your lower abdomen, to all those organs, your side ribs, your back ribs. Allow it to bathe the back of your back, the back of your body, down into your hips, your thighs. Bathe over your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet. This is easily turned into a meditation. If you're tight for time on a particular day, this is where when you're rushing, this is where your first step, this is where you'd want to be. You can even just sit on transit and experience this. You can sit anywhere, stand anywhere and experience this. This portion of my morning practice, I normally do in the shower if it's a shower day, and it really, I find that it really helps with the water. And then I put a little plug in the bottom, and I allow my feet to soak while I do this grounding, centering, and aligning. And it probably helps that the bottom level of my shower has little pebbles on it and stones that I had installed purposely for that purpose. And I also believe that water holds structure. So what a blessing to have this water that I'm working with go back out into the loop of our earth. So that might be something you want to consider. And then often I just wrap myself in my robe, my hair in a towel, and I come down and go into meditation and do my journaling. So please figure out how you can incorporate this into your life so that it works. And take little pieces of this. That's why I've invited you in to my personal practice. And I also want to invite you into our monthly membership. My name is Debra O'Neill. I'm the CEO and founder of blissbee.me, Integrative Holistic Health. We have a fantastic monthly membership that I'd love for you to be a part of. It's founding member pricing right now, $29. So less than $1 a day to do the work. Worksheets, how-tos, guided meditations. And in January, we'll be bringing this live monthly practice into the monthly membership and see how that facilitates and helps to sit together. Lots of great bonuses and resources in there too. So let's get started with our meditation. I've got my Mela. I'm going to use the Mela. It's 5 rounds in the Mela. Well, I guess sort of over, just one over the 5. I still think it's 5, even though I think when I count it out, it's probably 6. But, and I will let you know after we pass each round. And I am going to work with, what am I going to work with today? I've got my Lemurian seed, which is just a large crystal. Lemurian seeds are often noted by the ladders, kind of like the ladders of knowledge on them. I don't know if you can see all these lines on the crystal and the beautiful inclusions. You get this, the rainbow pieces that you can see. It's really a beautiful, beautiful piece that I've been creating a relationship with your crystals. It's important to create a relationship with them, I believe. So I love that it's flat on this side. It fits perfectly if I'm having a day, one of those days where when I'm sensing just a lot going on in the world, I hold it at my heart during meditation. And And often I find that it's just another really great form of grounding. Ultimately, when we get into those heightened states, hypersensitivity states, it's grounding that is the most important. And it also is in the center line of my body. So it centers me well, and it allows me to connect to higher sources or resources. So it kind of brings me full circle right back. So I'm going to do that today. And I've got my journal and a pen. Have a sip of water if you're feeling thirsty. Go to the bathroom if you need to go to the bathroom. Grab a blanket. Often you get a little cooler, and it's often, I find, a great cue for the body. So we're brain training. Even me, I still keep the same regular things going, and I often go back to the same crystals. I often wrap myself up just like I'm doing now in this beautiful, thick blanket shawl from North India in Badrinath. And it was a pleasure to meet the people that make these. All right, so a beautiful mantra to use is so hum, inhaling on the so, exhaling on the hum. So let's bring ourselves to our seat again. Engage our deep diaphragmatic breath into the lower abdomen. And with sound, bring ourselves here. Inhaling on the so, exhaling on the hum. Inhaling on the so, exhaling on the hum. Inhaling on the so, exhaling on the hum. And feeling the coolness on the nostrils on the inhalation, and the warmth on the nostrils on the exhalation. If you ever find that you're drifting, like disassociating or going off somewhere in your meditation, that's a really easy way to bring yourself back, because when you engage in your sensories, that brings us into the present moment. You may want to find a place to sit behind your third eye on that beautiful pine cone of the pineal gland, or bringing it into your heart and just sitting in your heart. Curling your lips up a little bit. Let's get started. Breathing in a little deeper. Breathing out a little longer. One complete smooth breath. No pause in between the breath. No jerks. No noise. And no judgment. That's one. Thank you, Guru, thank you. If you're having a difficult time bringing the breath down to your lower abdomen during the meditation, I find it's helpful just to put your hand there and breathe to your hand. Breathing down to your hand, breathing up to your nose, breathing down to your hand. And that's two. Allowing your thoughts that come in to just put them in the cloud or put them in a bubble, allow them to float up into the ethers. That's three. If you find you're just getting a nonstop track of thoughts, you might want to incorporate the train, a moving train, and just putting those thoughts on the train. Just keep putting those thoughts on the train. And witness yourself putting those thoughts on the train and not engaging in them. Just putting them back, put on the train, put them on the train, put them on the train. And that may just be your meditation. Just in not engaging in the thoughts, just simply putting the thoughts on the train over and over again. And feeling that quietness, that peace, and just putting the thoughts on the train. Just keep it going. You might find you get a bigger gap, a bigger space. You might find that you want to just release the mantra and listen to the so and the hum in your breath. Listen for that sound of the so and the breath. And listen to the sound of the hum and the breath. It often reminded me of the ocean. That's 4. I think I might have. This time you may want to check your posture. When you get to this stage, the restlessness sometimes kicks up. If the restlessness kicks up, just bring yourself back into grounding, into your seat, letting the body know that you're safe. You have all the time in the world right now. This is dedicated time. And bring your breath back into your abdomen. Re-engage with your mantra. And simply be. And that's 5. You're welcome to stay with the mantra or stay where you are. Or join me in my mantra of bliss be me. Tapping into the frequency of bliss, love, and joy. You might want to bring your seat down into your heart. And fill yourself with this frequency of bliss. I also like to strengthen the template of the monthly membership where we do the work in the Facebook group of Bliss Be Me. And the container in which I work, where we all work in this container of bliss, joy, and love. Curl your lips up a little bit. Bliss be me, 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 bliss be me. And then I just step back from that and allow it to flow in the background. Experience the vastness of the universe. Of the no thing, of the one thing, of the oneness. The oneness of consciousness. We all live in the same oneness of consciousness. That's why I believe anything that I speak or anything that anyone else speaks has not been spoken or has already been spoken. And how we all have a similar message. You can release the mantra. Just come in to take a couple breaths with your eyes closed. You can keep your eyes closed while I prepare to pull a card for our inspiration today. You might want to palm your hands together. Create some friction, some heat, energy. And cup your hands. And allow your eyes to open into your hands. Bathe in that warmth and that energy that you've offered your own body. Welcome back. I'm sharing today with you my newest card deck. It's actually called the Starseed deck. It's really, I love the packaging. This is the packaging, and you get these 2 spots for holding. I like to have the cards on one side, and it has a book. And then I put the card that I'm working with in this. So we'll see what they have to say to us today. And the card that I pulled last time was called The Void. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic boon. Yes, it is in the Northern Hemisphere. It is the heart of winter as we're coming upon the winter solstice. And we will be in meditation for the winter solstice. And the reason why I've done this is because there's so many wonderful planetary influences right now. We're coming into solar eclipse on December 14th. And then this beautiful major conjunction between two planets, our massive planets, Jupiter and Saturn, are going to be within 0 degrees of each other on December 21st. So if you're in the north, we should be able to see it at about 6, I think at 6 o'clock, 6:30, somewhere in there. And it'll look like one big bright star. And it only happens once every 20 years, 2 decades. And it's changing the elements from earth to air, the air of Aquarius. And that happens only every 200 years. So it's great. I'm not an astrologer, but I love planets and the universe. And it must be a really exciting time for them to be experience the dawning of Aquarius. I know that I'm excited to experience the dawning of Aquarius. The dawning of a new civilization of oneness, justice, humanity, peace, love, bliss. What does this deck have to say to us today? Big picture thinking. It's so beautiful. Big picture thinking. If you are here, you are a big picture thinker, because this is the big picture. We are living in experiencing the big picture when we are stepping into our own mastery. Visionary, inspired ideas. And coming into 2021, it's important that we sit down and do some writing. You know what, it said that, oh gosh, I had the stats. I'm putting them out in my newsletter. So please join on, you can see it in the bio and IG to sign up for the newsletter and sign up for the membership there and in the description. But we've got a better chance of achieving our goals or our New Year's resolutions if we write them down. Okay, let's go to under the B, big picture. It's never too late to learn new things and change the future. You're being called to be a visionary for the planet. Yes, you are. To take a breath, shake off what you've been taught about the world, and hold a new vision for humanity. You're likely a natural big picture thinker, here to generate ideas for the future, here to birth a new age and dream a new world into being. The future will be woven by dream makers like you, by those with enough courage to question the way things have been and envision new possibilities for the planet. The world needs more artists, dreamers, inventors, and visionary thinkers. Perhaps you have an idea recently that you're being called to usher in. If so, this card is your confirmation that it is divinely guided. How are you being called to step up and lead? What new ideas or creations are you being called to pursue? Wow, that's a big card. That's a really big card. So I am so glad that we can take this to pen to paper, allow it to be part of your planning for 2021. Yes, this just rocks my socks. I am so grateful for these cards. They make me giggle. That is you. That is me. That is us. That is we. That is the planet. And that is the vision. So with that, thank you so much for being here. I love you. If this would resonate for anyone that you know, please tag them, share with them, and most importantly, subscribe so that you get notifications. I'd love for you to join us in our monthly membership. I'd love for you just to get to know us even more by joining the blog post email list. The website is still not fully up. My devotion has been to the monthly membership because we needed to do the work fast. And that was the way to get it done. So with that, make it a great day.